Hi everybody, I hope everybody is well. We are in April and it's been nothing but April showers until today and the sun is glorious. So I took this opportunity to spring clean and have a move around and all that jazz. So I am here today to waffle some more for your amusement really. But this video is about being your own oracle, as the title suggests, and creating your own oracle deck. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm forever trying to create my own deck. You've seen the videos. You know, I'm not going to go on too much about the decks that I'm showing because I do have other videos about them, but they are vital to the video I'm making. So what I wanted to achieve really was just, it's kind of like, oh gosh, I am not articulate today, is trusting yourself as your own oracle, basically. It is something that some days I am like, yes, you know, I can do this. And then there are days when I'm like, no, I need someone else, which is fine, absolutely fine. Let me get that out of the way. I am not for one hot minute suggesting that you shouldn't use other people's decks that have been created. They have an absolute wealth of knowledge, and they're giving that to the world, so you should absolutely, if that's what you enjoy, use it. What I'm saying is that you too are an oracle. Your life is an oracle, and you know you better than anyone else. You know what you've been through. And it is nice when you pick up a deck and it resonates with you. And I'm a huge fan of oracle decks. I never used to be. I don't know if I went on video and ever said that I would never own one, but that's how I felt when I started getting back into tarot. I was like, oracle, I don't need an oracle. Tarot is where it's at. And then I got, obviously, Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle, and it just spiraled from there, if you like. So yeah, I absolutely adore other people's oracles. But I was reaching for them so much, and I was like, what can they say? And there is that kind of trusting that when you're reading someone else's images or you're seeing the images, that you are then your own oracle. If you read the book, that's when you're kind of feeling or hearing what the creator had in mind. So it's kind of, it's a thin line. I think everyone should create their own oracle deck, as I think everyone should create their own tarot deck. So I'm going to begin. And as I've mentioned, you've seen these before on my channel, so I'm not going to go on too much. But this was the first oracle deck that I created. They're all handmade and all hand laminated with sellotape, as they are. And these were images that I cut from magazines. And the paper I got from a local craft shop, which is The Works here in the UK. And I use them quite a bit. I used to get my friends to, I'm like, oh, pick a card. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with them. I don't use them now, but they were the inspiration for my oracle deck that I had professionally made, if you will, stuff. So they all had different backings. Not quite yet grasping how to quite do it. So they were half of what I felt and half of what I felt like I should. Like, stuff speaks to me because I have way too much stuff. Not so much now, but I did at the time. Child, inner child, happiness, So they did speak to me. They did speak to me. So I created them, like I said. I used just card to stick on everything to, and then laminated with sellotape. So very basic, but not enough of them for me really, to get a good get my teeth into something. So then I created this deck, and let's compare since I'm doing that. So here we go. They didn't all make it because there's not that many cards, but so you have shine and shine. So yes, then I had this deck created. I had a designer create them for me with images that I picked, and it was this deck, and it still is a, sorry, we don't have double glazing, so if people are out in the street, you're going to hear them. And it's this deck that I used a lot, but I still couldn't trust myself to rely on the messages that I found myself reaching for someone else's deck. Not so much now, I'm a lot better, but I still do it from time to time. Like, I'll sit down and I'll pull a card, and I'll be like, cool, I wonder what the wisdom of the oracle's got to say. And then I pull a card from there, and I'm like, oh, okay. But as much as that's awesome, and it's fantastic to have that perspective from somebody else, I can get that from my cards, but I am not trusting that I know enough, which is bull. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I am a know-it-all. I know everything. The cosmos is mine to be read. But when I'm reading the cards for myself, I know me. So obviously when I interpret them, of course there's going to be some slight skew on the reading, as opposed to if someone was reading for me. But it's just trusting, and that's not something that I was really able to do. Like I touched on, don't worry, I know I keep kind of doubling back, but I'm going forward at the same time. This deck, I love this deck, but it was always a wee struggle for me to trust what I had thought and put down, and the reason I put them down, and I know why I put them down, but it's just, it feels difficult sometimes. And I'm sorry if I'm contradicting myself as I ramble. It's I do struggle, I find, when it's something that's a little bit close to the heart that I can't quite get the words out. So hide is very much the same as it was. Silence. And instead of child on this one I had play. And I loved that one. This is a dark card. The lighting is bad despite the sunshine, but it's called Shadows, so of course I wanted it dark. And as I have previously mentioned on my channel, this is my favourite card of all time. I love it! So, you know, I started off basic, and then I saved up money and had this made. And I made 3 copies, and one I gave to the designer and one I gave to my friend. Sorry, I need tea. You know this. So, moving in the right direction. And it wasn't until recently I had, say recently, around Christmas, maybe a little bit after, I had been toying with the idea of creating my own goddess deck. And I really thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. But I just couldn't. There's so many awesome gods and goddesses out there. And I have, you know, Kuan Yin and Isis, and there's so many, and Kali. But I just thought I don't work with them enough to create a god or goddess deck, even if it was for myself. I don't think I had that. So I did what I found people. People, I hate and love people all at the same time. So this I am going to show you. This I half laminated because I laminated a few cards, and halfway through I realised I couldn't shuffle them. And this deck takes inspiration from people and wisdom around the world, and the keywords that I wrote on the cards kind of are, they are a mix. They do follow a system in a sense that there's 4 categories, and each category means a different thing. I won't bore you with it because it's just a deck that I've made for myself. So, and the keywords, some are basic and some are very poetic, which I took license from the Wild Kuan Yin, which is very poetic. So I kind of did that as well. Sorry. Talking makes me nervous. So I'll show you a few of the cards, and I've been using this deck every single day since I created it. It's got its own journal, and I pull a card, and I just trust in what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, and the message I wrote. There's a reason I wrote it. So, and you won't be able to see it because it is so shoddily made, but this one says Ancestral Crone Calls. And I pulled this the other morning and it kind of just opened up a whole new idea in my mind, which I will share eventually. But right now, we've decided to take a little walk together. And yeah, it's coming up pretty awesome. This one is Lift Your Veil and See. So these are images that I got from Pixabay. Introspection. And he reminds me a little bit with the beard and the look of Ravi from iZombie. So, which is you know, they're free images to use, but you still have to be careful, I think, because if they've got models in, it's hard to know if the model signed a waiver. So that this is why it's just for me. And today is not the past. This is one of my favourite cards. And I will walk you through them because, you know, why not? Lose yourself in laughter. And I really enjoyed the process. It was a long process. It took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to hear when I'm pulling cards. Red embraced the wolf. So that's Little Red Cap or Little Red Riding Hood. And no one can do it like you can. So the idea was that I would print these off and I would write on them the keywords that I thought fitted with what I was trying to experience when I pulled a card. And then the idea was, if the keywords felt like, yes, that's on point, then I would make playingcards.com and create them. But I had to make sure that they were saying what I wanted and that I would use them. Otherwise, that's money wasted. I don't have that. Honour our mother. Nude. Honour your true self. And I threw her on the floor. Why not? And I love everyone that's in here. I had to cut even a few out because I tried to keep it to a 32 because that's the cheapest option. Invoke yourself. And everyone in this deck just gives me chills. Honestly, they are absolutely gorgeous. Connection in prayer. So far, once I've been pulling them, there was only one where I pulled in the evening after work, but I've been so good at pulling them before I go to work, and they really are just what I need, and it's fantastic. The Maiden Waits. Sleeping with the Rose. But don't get me wrong, as I said at the beginning, I'm still very much using other people's decks as well. It's just this was a way for me to really try to connect with myself and my inner voice, and trust my instincts, really, and intuition, I guess. Sorry. Merriment in Colour. I mean, how amazing is she? The Cover of Night. Yeah, we're having a little unveiling here. The Warrior's War. That one I got the other morning. I was like, Divine Nourishment. She's actually, I accidentally printed 2 of her, and she's on my altar behind me as well. Well, maybe it was an accidental. Calmly Walk Through. Seriously, yes. So this oracle absolutely speaks to me and my journey and the obstacles I go through. Embrace the Pale Dawn. And some are like quite arty-farty in their names, you know. Bit of drama. Guided by their voices. Because nobody knows me better than me. Time brings perspective. Thoughts that silence. This card reminds me very much of the Utterer card from the Magician's deck. I almost called it the Utterer, and I was like, no, that's somebody else's idea. Another sun, don't compare. I wrote in biro, and really badly. I think I even had to cross one word out on one card. Your cup is half full. Almost an L off of the full. It's fine. It's just for me. It's just for me. Stay wild at heart. Sorry. I can't get the lighting right, guys. I will never be a professional. Nude. Stardust shimmering in skin. You can't really see that she's nude, but she is gorgeous and shimmering. Shimmering. She's a pot. The angel on the floor. We're almost there, guys. Feel the light within. The sacrifices release. Turn in, tune in. And then lastly we have talk aloud. I am listening. This guy was created to let me know that somebody is listening. Doesn't he look like he'd be a fantastic listener? He really does. So that's kind of really what prompted the video, was because I can feel how much I've grown from one deck to another in trusting myself, of taking my own advice. And that's what it really boils down to, is taking, I think, your own advice, regardless of whether you're reading your own cards or somebody else's, in my opinion. I'm trying to make sure that everyone knows I'm saying that, in my opinion. You know, that's just something that I was working on and feel like I will constantly work on. No, it's not going to stop me buying others' oracles or, you know, anything like that. Absolutely not. But I do recommend you build your own oracle. And that being said, what if you don't have access to a printer? Or you can't use the work one when there's no one in the office? Not that I would do that. Hope no one's watching that I know at work. What if you can't print? Well, what if you don't have magazines? Well, I recommend playing cards with pictures. I recently bought a playing card deck from eBay, which was £5.99, including free delivery. And it is a playing deck based on Russian fairy tales. That's the name. See if it'll focus for you a little bit. Now, the thing is, I do not know anything about Russian fairy tales. So, that means I currently have 52 cards with pictures on that I know nothing about, that I can only use my intuition. And I must try not to read them like tarot cards, because the Two of Cups, Two of Hearts, you know, I must try not to do that. But yeah, so I think, it might add something extra, but I want to read it solely as an oracle deck, and the artwork is amazing. I mean, look at that. Reaching for the Phoenix. There's quite a few cards reaching for the Phoenix. I won't go through all of these, but just to give you a flavour. Let's I assume this is the Princess and the Frog, because she appears to be holding a frog. So, they are gorgeous, by the way. They're absolutely gorgeous. I ordered the red backs and I got the blue backs. So that was a little annoying, but it's not so much about the backs of the cards, it's about the front. So I am absolutely not going to read a stitch of Russian fairy tales, so that I don't equate anything to the cards. So I can use them purely as my own oracle deck, which there are tarot decks out there and oracle decks that I know, and I know that you can, that they have no keywords or they have no guidebooks. So you can actually just go with however you know, your gut. Absolutely. But I thought for £5.99, that's probably got to be one of the cheapest oracle decks ever. And it is carry size. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I know what I'm saying. Been watching RuPaul's Drag Race. So thank you for tuning in. I hope between the rambling you kind of pick up what I've been putting down, that you are an oracle. You are a walking, breathing oracle deck. Your life is an oracle. Everything that you have been through, everything you're going through, everything you hope and dream for, that is your oracle. So if you're a little bit like me and you were favouring a spiritual teacher above your own teachings, which of course, guys, I'm not trying to get flack here, just absolutely fine. You know, they're spiritual teachers for a reason. They've seen shit. They know shit, you know, but bring it back to you. You know more than you could possibly know. And if you believe in past lives, then you absolutely know more than you know. You know, you can pull on that. I personally, I'm not a past life believer, but that's cool if you are, and then you can pull from that as well. So yeah, I just really wanted to get this video out here. I'm pretty much sure this video is like just one big 20-minute ramble, but I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I hope to see you all soon. And well, I won't, that'd be really weird if you were all in my bedroom. But I hope you all have a nice weekend, and I will be back real soon. Take care, guys.